am Energizer podcast, and today we talk about the algorithm. Now, let's think about it. What is the algorithm that is programming and controlling your life? First, let's look at the definition of algorithm. An algorithm is a list of rules to follow in order to complete a task or solve a problem. Now, let's look at it in relation to our social media context. In social media, an algorithm is a set of rules and calculations that platforms use to decide which content appears on a user's feed and in what order. These algorithms analyze user behavior, preferences, and interactions to personalize the user experience and prioritize content they are likely to engage with. Essentially, they curate your feed to keep you engaged and on the platform longer. So let's think about that. There's a calculation that is used to solve a problem that they have. All right. The problem that they have is if you don't pay attention to their screen, if you don't provide them with your undivided attention over a long period of time, then it does not enrich their pockets. All right. Because the more attention you provide them, it gives them ad dollars. All right. And the more ad dollars that come in, it generates more revenue. More revenue fattens up the pockets. It fattens up their bottom line. It fattens up the pockets of their CEOs. And then eventually the money gets to the quote unquote stockholders of the company, right? The investors. But what's happening is we're allowing the algorithm that was their problem, we're allowing that to control us. Now, it clearly states that it is a set of rules or calculations that a platform uses to decide which content appears on a user's feed and in what order. This is fancy words for how this platform uses what you have looked at and what we think you will watch longer, how we manipulate you to stay on here longer. But what is the end result? Like, what are we facing as humans? So, for example, let's say you watch some version of quote unquote violence. Now, that set of rules and calculations on this platform is going to use you watching whatever thing of violence that you witness. It will use that to decide how much more violence appears on your feed and in what order that violence is going to appear on. Think about that. It's going to analyze your behavior. So if your behavior is violence, if your behavior is BBLs, watching them, if your behavior is yelling girls, yelling, hey, with music in the background and twerking, you go get that. If it's men with their shirt off and you like them in the gym, it's going to see that that's your preference. That's your behavior. That's your interaction. And it's going to personalize that for you to see that. I think one of the times I became the most conscious about this was at one point in time, like in group chats that I've been a part of, I got homeboys where we'll send each other, particular women that, we thought, oh man, she bad. And this was before the BBL epidemic. But we would see these women and be like, oh man. So, we see beautiful women in Houston. We have some of the most beautiful women in the world. And I've been a lot of places in the world, but Houston has some of the most, native Houstonians have some of the most total package women that you'll see. So when we would see some of these women, we would share it in the group chat. But what I started noticing was that now my timeline, my explore page was just that. So at one point in time, when they changed the format of the explore page, it was all I saw. And someone write about it. So I then brought it up like, hey man, did y'all explore page? Like, is it starting to look like this? Man, mine is looking like that too. So then as we started hearing more about the terms engagement, algorithm, what we started to do then is we started to think about it like, wait a minute. All right. If we don't share this stuff, we don't see it. So for me, most of my algorithm was travel, was healthy foods, like-minded things that I'm on. Every now and then cars, because I would send nice cars that I like and stuff like that to friends or whatnot. But what is the behavior, preference, and interactions that you have in your experience or that you prioritize and that you absorb every day? And that's the biggest question for me. What is it that you do on your daily that now the algorithm in the world, the algorithm in the spiritual, the algorithm in our universal human experience, what is it that's giving you that behavior, that preference, and those interactions, and is prioritizing the content? If you keep seeing, if you don't like a particular thing, a lot of times we say that we attract a lot of what we don't like. Why? Chances are there's some lesson in it. It exposes us to a different version of ourselves. It exposes us to traumas that we didn't heal from. But what is that? That's your life trying to teach you some version of a lesson or trying to get you, let's just say, a better version out of you. Let's just say that that's what's going on, right? So what is it that we can learn from dealing with social media and what we get out of social media, and now recognizing the behaviors of whatever algorithm that they've created, and now how that translates into our life. I think one of the biggest things that I've noticed was the boundary aspect of my life. The better that I became at the boundary aspect of my life, it put me in the position to create more boundaries. The more that I stood up for myself, I found myself in the position of standing up more for myself. The more that I saw that I didn't like song requests, the more I got song requests. So the more I saw that I didn't like bad business dealings, I ran into people who had bad business dealings. So it wasn't until I did some version of change within those things that I didn't like that something transpired, that something new came about. But what's for you is for you, what's not is not. So that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But what is it in our daily algorithm, which is really our mind? What is it that we're perceiving and we're looking at now? If we're looking always for the negative and negative people, what are we going to get, right? We're always going to get negative out of people. What if we do start changing our minds and start looking at the positive? What are some of those things that we could use in our daily and that algorithm that we want to create? What is the mindset of that positive algorithm within us that can get us those different results? And that's the question that I asked. One of the episodes that I did is in relation to forgiving your parents. And what I'm speaking to there is that algorithm of what was created from your childhood, which in a lot of times was dictated by your parents, your family, siblings, stuff like that, your surroundings. That algorithm is now what is dictated in our life, which is our habits, our thought processes, our decision-making skills, the choices that we believe we have, and then how we present ourselves. So if we're in some version of alignment or some version of rhythm, what alignment or rhythm are you in that's going to continue to personify those things that you don't like? And what can you do to change that alignment or that rhythm, that algorithm? What is it that you can do to change that to get the more positive out of you? That's the bigger question for me. So in the algorithm, there's a terminology called adversarial content. And adversarial content are the things that equal to the distractions that hack your wiring. Platforms fight spam. You fight the temptations and the things that come into your life that you don't really need. Adversarial, these things are against your better interests. So what are those things that come into your life that are against your better interests? The same way you have spam in your email, spam on social media, spam calls and text messages, all these things that are unwanted. You have those things in your life that you welcome in as spam. You have those people in your life that you welcome in as spam. And I would just encourage you to put those spam blockers on. Get rid of those things that are against your better interests and that are adversarial to your end goal, that go against you being a version of you that you know you need to be. If you know that person is on hookah, on weed, on all whatever them other things, or drinking all that, and you trying to stop all that, that is an adversarial version of content that is in your algorithm that you need to get rid of. Those distractions are not helping with your algorithm. So you got to switch them out. You're not rocking with them. Let's look at clickbait versus quality content. So what is shiny versus what is meaningful? A lot of what we deal with today is that we just want so much instant gratification, and we don't want to wait for that delayed gratification that is going to be a lot more meaningful because it had time to cook. It had time to marinate. It had time to gain some version of definition. But most of what we want, we don't even know really what it is. We can't even really define it. It's something. And I think that's a huge thing that we deal with in our society. We just get so much that come our way. So, men, the quality of women that you start to date and deal with, is it quantity that you want to deal with and just get your numbers up? Or is it the quality that you want to deal with? All right. Same thing with women. Think about who you're dealing with. Think about who's in your face. Think about who's in your DMs. Just because you got all that means nothing. You can still go to bed lonely at night, still go to bed broke, still go to bed not knowing nothing, no more than what you knew the day before, ignorant, no job, no set of goals, no ambition, no real value to yourself. You can still have those things. So what are the things that are the clickbaity things in your life that you need to go ahead and just chill on just because it's shiny? Ooh, squirrel. You don't got to be all that. It does not have to be all that in your life. So let's look for quality content on the things that we do within our lifestyle as we go to change our algorithm. exploration versus exploitation. Exploitation is really more so geared towards the things that you already are on, and we just go keep pumping that in. So that's what you're doing in your life. These are just a set of things that you're used to. So one of the things that I noticed locally in Houston are people who go out. Being in the nightlife scene or the bar scene or entertainment wise, you continue to see the same faces over a particular period of time. Why? Because they're going to continue to exploit. The promoters go exploit, you exploit yourself. It's the same rhythm that's going on. But where does the exploration come in? Where do you change it? And instead of going somewhere where they twerking next to your French toast at brunch, where are you going where they have like an art exhibit or where they're having, I guess, maybe a wine tasting or a comedy show or something that's related to business that, this business you've been wanting to start for a long time. And now, you finally have a chance to do that. Even traveling is one of the major ways to tap into exploration. But even just something as simple as reading, picking up new reading material can be a way that you open yourself up. And then spiritually, that isolation could be a version of exploration for you. Some of you thought I would have probably said go read a Bible or something like that, but I know different. The exploration within you comes a lot of times with the silence within you. So when you can silence a lot of things, you can go in and explore. So it actually counter what a lot of people would tell you to look without. I'm gonna tell you to go look within. So I think that's one thing in our algorithm that we can change. There's another thing in the algorithm called feedback loop. What comes of something that you're constantly experiencing. So if you see a particular pattern in a behavior, you're getting feedback from those decisions that you make. So what is it in your feedback loop that you can change? If people are giving you particular feedback about yourself, let's just say you go to work and you find out people saying that you musty. Chances are in that feedback loop, chances are you musty. You need to do something with them arms. It's something you need to change in your diet. It's something you need to do with your detergent, with the clothes that you're wearing. It's something that needs to go on to where you can go in and you need to change that behavior to change that feedback loop. The interactions that you have with things around you are going to continuously provide you with certain information that you need to utilize. Some of us get caught up in that hamster wheel. And some of us don't know we're in the hamster wheel. Others, we are going and dressing up and lacing up for that hamster wheel and just keep doing the same old things. So I just want you to really be conscious of your feedback loop, those habits, those behaviors, those things that you're experiencing. Look without the things that are outside of you, and then look within. What are the things that can change from those feedback loops that you keep getting? So that's something in your algorithm that you definitely need to look into. One of the things in an algorithm that, I notice, of course, it's going to optimize. And I just want to know, what are you optimizing in your function? Because the goal is for it to run as smooth as possible. When it's dealing with ranking functions, which is similar to your daily priorities and the way that you do what you do, the way how you prioritize people in your life, the way how you prioritize the foods that you eat, the way how you prioritize working out. Some of those things are your ranking function. What are you going to do most likely? What is the things that you're going to do daily? Ranking function. But when you get down to objective function, you want to go in and look at how do you optimize those things? How do you do these things the most fluid, easy, non-aggressive way in the environment around you? So I think you should figure out a way how to optimize your goals. Okay, whether it's writing them down, whether it's typing them out, whether it's putting a reminder in your phone, whether it's putting a task list together, these different things, having accountability partners, these things can help you with your objective function with optimizing the things around you that can help you get to where you're trying to go. Prioritizing yourself. And I ain't talking about in a selfish way, but I'm talking about in a way that puts you in a position, in a positive light, to self-sustain. And you're going to keep hearing me say that, because that is our priority. When we're here, we have to take care of us first. And a lot of us are such huge givers. A lot of us are such huge providers that we don't give and provide ourselves. So I want a lot of you to make sure you look into that and figure out ways that you can give to you, that you can provide to you, that you can optimize that ranking function, that daily priority, that thing that puts you at the top. Maybe it's eating an orange every morning. If oranges and citrus make you happy, man, have you an orange ready and get that boost up in the morning. If it's going for a run, wake up early enough, prioritize that ranking function, optimize your day. Because if you get up early enough, that's going to give you time to stretch, put on the clothes that you want to put on. That's going to give you time to get your music right and all of that. Or you can have all that stuff set up the night before. Boom, you can go out on your run. Meal prep. That might be a way that you prioritize yourself. Now that's ranking function. That's a priority priority for you, that you go out there, you put these things as a priority in the early part of your day or your week. So now when you go to do your objective function, which is the way how you optimize the things that you're doing, well, guess what? You put yourself in a position to win. You're not sitting up here worrying about the things you're going to eat and where you're going to go and all these different things. So all these, the things that I'm bringing up are essentially ways that we can take what we deal with on a daily and convert and leverage those terminologies that we use or that we're not even aware that's being used on us, and use it to our advantage to make a better version of us and improve our spirituality and learn from what we're doing and just have a better human experience. I go by the name of Energizer, and this is the I Am Energizer podcast.